I just wanted to get on here and kind of record my thoughts and what I've been thinking lately. It's been a few days since my last video. Well, I did just upload one, but I didn't upload it right away. It's been a couple days. It's been very hot outside, so for working out, I decided to take like a week off. That and it was starting to feel like it was forced, like I was just forcing myself to do it, and I was just like dreading to do it, especially with all this heat. Like I'll get home and I'm exhausted because I'm on a roof all day and it's blazing hot, and the sun is reflecting off the roof, and it's like I cannot drink enough water fast enough to feel a difference, So I feel like I need to recover some ability to acclimate to the weather, So I get home and I'm just so exhausted. I just go to bed early, you know, go to bed about an hour early. But it's really got me thinking lately because once you do something that you're feeling gives you purpose for so long, this isn't the first time I took a week off, but once you do something that has been giving you purpose for so long, and then you don't do that thing, it really gets your mind racing. Racing about how you're not the you that you want to be. Because you don't have that positive reinforcement. Like sitting there lifting weights, and, in a way, I would compare it to fighting your demons. Because man, if you can think about it, it's crazy whenever you think about it like this, but people get in a routine every day. A lot of people live the same day on repeat over and over and over. And that's just insane. They wake up, eat, get ready for work, go to work, get back home from work, hello family, hello kids, I love you, let's eat, watch a movie, go to bed. Wake up, eat, get ready for work, go to work, get home, hello kids, hello wife, I love you, eat, watch a movie, go to bed. And it's crazy how much of your life just passes by like it was never there. And what happens whenever you're gone? If that's the same routine every day that you do every day in your life, when you're gone, how will you be remembered? You've been doing the same thing every day. What will they have to say? It's not like, oh, I remember whenever we went to France and went on this vacation or something like that, Maybe you did something once in a blue moon, but when it came to being in front of the people around you every single day, and you just did the same things, like how are you remembered? Say, oh yeah, he was around. Like they might ask your daughter or son, it's like, yeah, he was around. He was there. He took care of us. We spent time together. I miss him, and that's it. Because they're not learning anything off of your behavior other than repeating your behavior. So in a way, your kids are going to grow up to be the same way. Because they're now in a routine that you started. And it's just in an endless cycle. And ever since I started working out, I feel like I've broken that cycle. I feel like I'm doing something to break the routine. Because whenever I come home, whenever I came home, as in past tense, I would immediately just drop whatever's in my pockets and then go straight to the computer and just play this game until I got tired of it, play that game until I got tired of it, play that game until I got tired of it. And it was just a routine every day. I did that for years. And what's crazy is that whenever I look back on my life and I see those, and I'm trying to think about these days, it all gets chalked up in one day, right? I didn't spend 5 years in that routine. I spent one day in that routine. And that one day lasted 5 years. That's crazy, man. And me just stopping working out just for a week really throws me in a loop. It's like I'm missing something. Right? And it's like I'm starting to realize that like my life doesn't have a lot of purpose, or because I had purpose and now I don't have purpose just for this 1 week, even though it's temporary. Once you start a good habit, and you're starting to feel good about yourself and see results and all these things, man, it really starts to get you thinking about what you're not doing. And I know I'm going to give my body a break and allow me to acclimate and get used to this heat and increase the amount of water that I'm drinking. But the thing is that, man, it's still affecting me mentally, because now I'm not doing these things. And that's one of the reasons why I got in front of the camera, because, dude, I want to be able to see myself talking about these things. I think it's very important. I think it's very important that I say it for other people to see too. Even if that's just one person, But so many people are just locked in that routine. They don't have purpose. They have a routine, right? I broke my routine, so it's like I'm consciously thinking for the first time in my life. Other than that, your brain was already wired to do certain things. You knew when you got home, you needed to eat. So your next goal is to eat, right? So you're already walking to the refrigerator, or you're talking or whatever, but whatever you run into is just a bunch of obstacles. Whatever's in your way, right? But the real mission in your mind is to get to the fridge, eat, and then proceed to the next task. And it's like you're not really actively thinking about it. You just do it. It's kind of like whenever you wear a seatbelt when you're driving. I hope everybody wears a seatbelt, because, the data shows itself. They save so many lives. But I'm not here to teach you how to drive. But whenever I get in the car, I don't even think about it. I really don't even think about it. It's just automatic. Bam! There's a good snap. I just automatically think about it. Boom, seatbelt's on. Brake, shift gears, go. The first thing I do is put on my seatbelt. In fact, through me breaking this routine, I'm starting to think about all these individual tasks too, so that way I can have more life in my life. And I'll notice that I'll I'll automatically put on my seatbelt. But on the days that I don't, and I'm pulling off, right? I'll get a feeling in the back of my head. I'll get a feeling. I think my camera turned off for a second. It'll be alright. I get a feeling of not discomfort, but dissatisfaction. Because the routine was off. I'm supposed to put it on as soon as I get in the car, before I pull off. But once I pull off and then I put it on, after I pull off, like, I'm a little unsatisfied with that because I've already pulled off a little bit, and man, I'm supposed to wear my seatbelt when I drive or whatever. It's like I got barriers, and I need to stay within those barriers. And I think everybody's life is like that, where they're within these four walls, and then right outside of these four walls is breaking your routine, right? And whether that's bad or good, it makes you feel uncomfortable, or you get some kind of negative association with that, or some kind of feeling with that's negative. But it all depends how you break out that wall, how it changes your life. Like, you can be a good person, and and then you take painkillers for the first time, and you're like, I really love these things, and you start taking them because you're feeling good, and before you know it, your box has gotten a little bit bigger, and now that's another routine that's in your box. Man. And I'm a thinker, dude. Like, I will start thinking and thinking and thinking. It's like, that's how I've gotten to the point where I can just sit here and talk to a camera. And I've never talked to, like, cameras before. I've just gotten so good at talking and thinking that, and speaking. Like, I really focus on what I say and how I say it. Because these things affect the way that you come across and affect other people's understanding. And I've learned how to transfer my feelings into words, which is very hard for a lot of people. You ask a person, like, how are you feeling? And they'll be like, I don't know, and they'll just go to one of the go-tos, sad, mad, whatever, but they don't explain why, And I think that's something I've developed, and it's transformed me to the person I am now, where I can just speculate about all these things and think about my life and how I want to be better, because I'm realizing all these things. Working out has really taught me a lot, man, because it's really opened up my mind to more possibilities. Because now that I know I can get results if I am persistent, right? Because you're always going to meet resistance. And that resistance is that whenever you think about doing something, whether it's good or bad, this happens, right? But more commonly with something good, because you can be easily influenced to do something bad, like, hey, let's go smoke weed and get high. You feel like you're getting a reward, right? But if somebody says, hey, let's go work out, or maybe you're telling yourself, hey, I want to work out. Well, a feeling pops up, that demon pops up, and he goes, no, I don't need to work out. Or, we're really not feeling it today. Or, now is not a good time. It's too late. Right? We need to start Monday. It's a fresh new week. We'll start Monday. But Monday comes around and the demon's back, man. The demon is back. So, giving you more things that that give you more resistance. He's saying, hey, we really need to eat. We haven't ate yet. And you're going to watch your YouTube video. It's going to be an hour. By the time you get done with that, it's going to be 7:30. And you need to start thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow. So now it's not a good time. It just stays there, and it's persistent. And you always meet resistance. But I heard from a mentor that you beat resistance with persistence. Right? So on those days that you meet these demons and they're telling you to do what you always done because you're just so used to it and you already know the result. When you open TikTok or whatever that you're going to get some laughs about it. You know that in your car, if you're the passenger in the car, all you're doing is riding, right? If it's a 30-minute drive, that is 30 minutes that you can just have your phone and scroll, right? It's so easy. That demon pops up and it's like, hey, you're already sitting here anyway. You might as well just sit here and overstimulate yourself and poison your mind with a bunch of mess that's just going to leave you wanting more of it. And like I said, it pops up good and bad. Like, that's a bad habit. Scrolling your life away, bad habit. Very bad. But it always pops up. But working out has taught me that once you persist on that and you just move right past those feelings and you just do what you need to do anyway, and then afterwards it's like you conquered them and you feel proud of yourself. I'm really debating moving my workouts in the morning rather than the evening. Right? So that way I can feel better about the rest of the day. Like, I'll get home and I've already worked the whole day. And I get home and I don't even want to work out. Demons are there, I don't even want to work out. But the thing is, I'll work out anyway. Well, now I feel great about myself. I feel amazing. But I'm going to bed in like 2 hours. So all of that, like conquering my demons and confidence and all these things, it's like I just go to bed and I'll wake up in the morning and I reset. But if I conquered them in the morning, I will be able to live with that all day. And then that will persist throughout my day. I would say anything that pops up, I can say, hey, I woke up this morning, I worked out. If I can do that, I can do this. It gives you more leeway in your life to conquer more demons. Because everybody's got them. It's the reason why people overeat and sit on their phone at the dinner table and they don't want to go anywhere, or all they do is play video games or something like that, like I was doing for a while. Like, I was an alcoholic at one point. In the military, on the weekends, man, I was so down in myself that, man, most of the time, I just wouldn't do anything on the weekends. Right? I would barely even play video games. I would just be there. I was so down in the military. And if I wasn't doing anything anyway, might as well be drunk. So I was drinking. I was drinking a lot. Man, I would drink like multiple times a week. Sometimes I would drink every day. And it got to the point where that was just what I did. Just like the phone thing. Hey, if I'm sitting there 30 minutes anyway, I might as well scroll my phone. I'll say, well, I'm not doing anything for the weekend anyway. I might as well be drunk in my room. And I would just be drunk and scroll my phone or half play a video game or something like that. But most of the time I would just drink, pass out, and then wake up in the morning and do what I had to do. There was no purpose. I didn't have anything to let me get further nothing to make me feel like I was taking the right path. And now that I've started working out, and it taught me that it's like, hey, you got to get this purpose by introducing new things in your life that are going to make a difference. That's going to make you remember your life rather than it just go past. So that's the reason why I started this too. Is because it is, man, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to start this dang video. Your puppy teeth is absolutely tearing me up. I'm going to hold you like this. I didn't want to start this, man. I didn't want to do this video. But the thing is that it was killing me. And this would not have happened if I never taught myself that new habits that bring purpose in your life is good. Right? Because I started to get the results from working out, and now I feel those results every day. I feel different. I'm more athletic. I feel better. I look better. I'm stronger. I'm more confident. I got bigger arms. I can see them. My veins are starting to pop out everywhere. I can see it. It's crazy. And that really teaches you that the things you can't see still mean something, right? Because working out will give you the results with the work. It's one of those things that show you the results. But there's things that you just can't see, which made me want to start this YouTube channel, and just so that way I can see myself over time, and then it'll all make sense. And I didn't want to do this video, but these habits are showing me that I can be better. And I can be better with time and persistence. So, me getting on here and talking, and the ability to look back on myself, but also show a journey to other people, because people love a journey too. There might be people watching this one day. That's not why I'm doing it. It's secondary to why I'm doing it. Right? That's why I chose to make a YouTube channel instead of a journal. Right? I'd be like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I would rather watch myself and listen to myself and see what I'm doing and see how I'm coming across, and feel the tone of my voice, feel whenever I'm getting emotional, know through the camera, get to know myself more. Right? Because you might be saying stuff in the moment, but whenever you see yourself again, you just don't think about it the same. Because you know where you're at now because of that person. So now you have a different idea of yourself. That's really why I started it. But the secondary reason why I started it is because it can scale over time. Like, if I'm going to do this, I might as well do it on a public forum where people can follow along too and watch. Dude, you ain't going to get here up here and start attacking me. You understand? You're going right back down. But other people can join too and watch. And I mean, it has the ability to scale over time. You never know. People might watch this, and it was also an incentive to get me started. I was like, hey, if I do this, and I did the YouTube research thing in my other videos and my React videos, and I'm learning that people will watch anything. People will really watch anything. So if I do this, and I can put it up here for everyone to see, not only can it scale over time, but even if one or two people see it, those two people now know what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and what I'm thinking about doing. They can return in like 2 or 3 months and see where where I am now. I've put it out there. And if they come back and they haven't seen me upload in 3 months, then I quit. And they say, well, that didn't last too long. And I don't want to be that person for myself. I don't want to be the person who quits. I don't want to be the person that doesn't remember anything or isn't memorable at all. I don't want to be that person that just gives up on things, or that person that's just so easily forgotten. I don't want to be on the verge of dying, right? I'll put it this way. Everybody's life is like a clock, man. That thing just keeps ticking, right? Whether you're watching videos, or you're sleeping, or you're taking excess naps and you just love sleep, or you're just binge eating or watching YouTube for hours and hours and hours and hours, that clock is still ticking, bro. It is still ticking. My worst fear is that one day I'm going to approach whenever I notice that clock starts to slow down. It doesn't work as well as it used to. The gears are grinding, and maybe the battery's running low, or maybe somebody's pressing on it, or smash it, but that's kind of like an end of your life situation, like you get killed. But whenever those gears start grinding and I feel my life reaching an end point, and I'm like 60 years old, or I'm starting to have some medical issues or something like that, and I'm a lot more conscious about the end of my life, because it's only the end of your life that you really start to speculate your life. You're like, man, what could I have been? What could I have done? Right? Why did I do that? Why did I talk to that girl like that? Or why did I do that to my ex-wife? Or why did I do that in front of my kids, or something like that? Or why did I make those mistakes? I don't want to be the person at the end there where I'm thinking back and I'm starting to say that I don't know if I did anything meaningful in my life. I just did the same thing over and over. So I don't know. Get down. I don't know if although I am about to die, I don't know if I've ever been alive. Because I've just been doing the same thing. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. What am I doing now? I'm going to eat. What am I doing now? I'm going to bed. What am I doing now? I'm going to work. Weekend, okay. It's either be drunk or make plans with people that are also in the loop so they never go out with you. Or number three, hope to God something happens. Whatever. I don't want to be 60 years old or 70 years old, whatever age I make it to. Feel those gears start to catch a little bit. And I'm just thinking, man, I wish it was more. I don't want that. So what I'm trying to do is add more purpose to my life. Because if I'm adding purpose to my life, then I can remember these things. I can say at 27 years old, I started working out, right? And it changed my life, right? It taught me that new things are okay to experience, and you're not going to like it at first, but if you just persevere and you're just killing that feeling of I don't want to do it every day, then man, one day you'll realize that it's really bringing a lot of love and joy in your life. And you can start noticing more days that you've lived and the progress. You can remember how you progressed from 45-pound dumbbell bench all the way up to 80 pounds. I'll remember that. It's an event in my life. It's not just, what have you been doing over the past month? I mean, think about it. If somebody asks you that, most people, I would say most people are in a loop, and they just want to break it, but they might not even know they want to break it because they're so used to it that it's like they're content. It's like man, it's similar to like you've been walking around standing all day. It's the feeling that you get whenever you finally sit down in a chair and you're just sitting there and you're in like you're not doing anything, right? You're just in like I finally get to sit down, and your body's in like a temporary stasis almost. And that's what people are doing. They're just like sitting down and everything's just flying past them. And I think people want to break that, but they just don't know how. I didn't know how. But you got to do something that throws it out of the loop. Boom, throw it out of the loop. Man, you just got to do something. Hey, I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to walk a mile. Pretty soon, you're going to be running a mile, dude. It's inevitable. If you walk that mile enough, one day, you're going to get that demon. No, one day, first, you're going to get the thought. You're going to say, I'm pretty sure I can run a mile. And that's you trying to start something new. And on the other side, here comes the demon, man. It's like you can feel him approaching. It's like you can feel him, and he comes in close, and he whispers in your ear, but it's like in your mind and through your heart, and you just feel it as an emotion, but it's like it's talking through your feelings, and it's saying, you don't want to do that. That's too much work. Or maybe you like walk a little bit faster and then you start to feel that feeling because you've never like ran a mile before, and then you're like, no, not yet. It's too much. No, bro. You got to run that mile, bro. You have to run it as soon as you get it, man. You got to get it, and then the demon comes in, man. It's like, you don't want to do this right now. Today's not a good day, What if you're sore tomorrow? Tomorrow you have work. Do you really want to be sore at work? Dude, but the thing is that, man, that gives you purpose. Like, you walk every day. Man, at first that demon was saying, you don't want to walk every day. It's going to take too long. You're going to walk a mile every day. But you overcame that one because it's such a small task. You're like, because maybe you gave yourself an incentive. I can walk and listen to music, or I can walk and scroll my phone, right? I can scroll my phone for the whole mile. Before I know it, it'll be done. And that's what you do every day. But if you run, you can't scroll anymore. You can listen to music, but you can't scroll anymore. And then he might be saying, hey, if you run, you can't be watching TikToks. And then that's another bad habit mixed in itself. So your mind is now coding yourself in like an uncomfortable decision. So running that mile is now uncomfortable to do because you have to take away the TikTok and then you're also exerting yourself a lot more because now you're running. It's like life just comes at you trying to keep you from doing stuff. And it's just lingering there. And I just want my life to have more purpose, you know. But that's how you break the loop. That one moment, that one pinnacle moment where he comes in and you can feel him and he's saying, not right now. Or, what if you're sore tomorrow? Or, you don't need to run. Or, whenever I run past people, it'll be awkward. I won't look normal because everyone else is walking. You know, whatever it is, whatever it's saying to you, it's that moment that you break the loop. That exact moment. I remember when I was working out, man. I bought the dumbbells before I had these, the new bells. Man, I bought them and they were all adjustable. And I was working out. I was gonna work out at home and do my own gym and all that stuff. That demon came in. These, to assemble them, you have to, all the weights go on this like giant cork. And you have to put the weights on and then screw it all the way in on both sides to secure the weights on. And every time I wanted to switch weight for different exercises, I had to unscrew it on both sides. It's very long. It's like this, and the handle's this big. So all this is threaded right here. Handle's this big. All this is threaded right here. So you have to thread it all the way down to secure the weight. And it just, man, it was sucking up so much time. And I was like, ugh. Demon came in and he was like, maybe we shouldn't be using these. You know, but the alternative to not using those, because I just bought them, was not working out. Because the way I was at the time was I just bought these for working out. And this is the perfect thing I need. So if I'm not using these, then I'm not working out. Because I already tried the gym. I don't like going to the gym. I really don't. I don't know anybody there, and I'm just trying to just do what I'm doing, and then you gotta sit here and wait for equipment and all this stuff. I don't like that. I really don't. Right? And then you end up running into somebody you used to know, and then you have a conversation, and you know, you make plans on going out somewhere, but everyone's in that loop. So even though you follow up with them, they don't reply, or they end up doing something else because they're used to what they're doing every day. And the demon already told them not to hang out with you, and they did that. You know, not everything ends up that way, but man, I've tried to hang out with so many people, and it's like, yeah, let's do it, yeah. And I'm like, and I know it's like, I need to be more social. So I try to be more social, right? But, so I'm following up with them, trying to make it happen, and they're like, oh, it's not a good time, or something, or this and that, and the other happened, or something like that. It's like, oh, change your plans, man. Like, I'm not gonna do it, man. It's like, I'm busy, or something like that. It's like, dude, it was outside of the routine. Because you just randomly ran into him at the gym, right? So that's already outside of the routine, right? You both catch up because, you know, you have a pleasant moment where you exchange memories, and then you're like, yeah, let's make more memories. But they get home back to their real loop. They get back to their loop because you were just visiting for a second. And then they're like, no, I'm just going to keep doing this. But I don't like going to the gym. So I knew that if I didn't use those, I wasn't going to the gym. And I'm not about to just buy more right after I just bought those. I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here collecting a bunch of different weights. All right? I did the research. This is what I need. Right? So instead of completely listening to that demon, I said, no. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work out with the same weight no matter what the workout is. And that changed my life, man. Changed my life. Because no matter what the workout was, I was squatting all with the same weight. It'd be like 35, 40 pounds, right? All the exercises, boom, same weight, same weight, same weight. I would just do everything, same weight. And nothing was hard. I was just doing like curls, hammer curls, push-ups, which is body weight, squats, step-ups, no weight, so I didn't have to use weight for it at all. Right, so really everything was gauged around like my bench, my squats, and I did a lot of sit-up work and running. Right, so it really didn't matter, but I was still lifting weight, and then I started to feel a difference, and I was like, I kind of want more. I don't like these weights. Let me just see if there's anything else out there, and I went deeper with research. I went deeper with it. I think I used ChatGPT for it because ChatGPT is like Google but alive, right? So I started like asking it questions, and I told it to give me a quiz to see what I needed at the house. I wanted something convenient. I wanted dumbbells. Show me different dumbbells, and it popped up new bells. These new bells, man. All you got to do, I didn't have to unscrew it or anything. It was literally a quick chink. You put it in there, twist it, whatever weight you want, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and it went all the way up to 80 in 5-pound increments, right? But the thing is that they're like $600, $700, right? So with that being said, hey, you just bought some. What makes you think you're going to use them and work out? What if you don't like them? What if they suck, right? They got a 30-day warranty, Paul. Get away from me. 30-day warranty. I order them. They show up in my house. Man, I start clicking them in place, working out with them. Oh my gosh, it was so convenient that I started tracking my weight. I made a whole workout program, and then I started tracking my weight. And then I started moving up weight on these individual exercises. Instead of lifting the same weight over and over, which started the routine. I'm very thankful for that. Right? I made it easy as possible. Sometimes you need training wheels, man. You don't just slap a kid on a bike and then say, hey, there you go. No, you put training wheels on it. And then you put them on the bike. And the first thing they gotta learn isn't pedaling with the bike. It is balancing on the seat itself. So you gotta hold that kid. You gotta hold him there. He's learning how to balance on the seat, so that way he doesn't just slide off, because the seat's like this and his butt's this big, right? So he's trying to balance on the seat. That's step one. Me originally, like, working out, buying those weights, and then just sitting there screwing it, unscrewing it. Man, that was step one. Man, step two is pedaling on the thing and keeping your balance while it's moving, because I've never done that before, right? And you learn like how to change certain things that you're doing because now you're moving. You see, whenever I started working out and I was just screwing those things and doing everything, I started moving, but I realized there was a better way to do something, right? I realized some of the mistakes I was making, or some things I needed to change. So I started using the same weight, made it better for myself, more convenient for myself. I made it so simple that there's no way I couldn't do it. I got the weights in there. I might as well go in there and work out. This is my house. All I can do is walk back there and work out for an hour, and I'm good. But it started getting to the point where I wasn't really feeling much of a difference. I was feeling better, but I wasn't really feeling much of a difference. So that led me to the next thing. I removed those training wheels. I just learned how to work out. So now I can move up to the next stage. Now that I know how to work out and stick to this program, I can move up to the next stage and increase the quality of my workout. So I found the dumbbells and I started lifting and eating protein and taking creatine and drinking enough water, getting enough sleep. You slowly add these things, these habits. You learn how to work out just fine. Boom, you're working out good. And then you start to notice, dang, I'm sore every day. And that demon comes in and he goes, do you really want to be sore whenever you work an outside job? Or maybe it's a desk job, man. It's like, do you really want to be like working legs and then sit there with a sore butt all day? All right? But what you got to do is you got to say, all right, I hear you, but let me do some research first. I start doing research. And what happened was I figured out that your body needs things to keep going. Number one is sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to guaranteed like wake up sore, fatigued, tired, whatever, right? So I started trying to sleep more, and that's what I was doing. I usually dude, it was random whenever I was going to bed, right? It might be 9, it might be 10:30, it might be 11:30, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. As long as I could wake up, get ready, go to work, and accept the fact that I was going to suffer the next day, that's what I was going to do. But I realized, like, man, if I want to do this and I want to actually feel a change with this new habit, then I need to start going to bed earlier. And so that's what I started doing first. And I started to go to bed earlier. And it changed so much, man. I was more energetic. I wasn't so tired. It helped with the soreness. I felt like I had more energy. And then I learned that your body needs a certain amount of protein for your weight, right? Otherwise, you will be sore. Very sore. So I calculated how much protein I need, right? And it came up to like 200 grams. And I was like, ooh, man, let's just try 100. So I was just eating 100 grams a day, making sure I got like 100. It got better. I was better. I wasn't as sore. So I kept that up for a while. Whenever you jump to the top, man, bro, you're going to fall over. You've never been up there before, right? But if you're just hopping up a small step, it's not that big of a deal. So I just went to 100 instead, cut it completely in half, right? I was still sore and all that, but I tried to eat protein bars and stuff like that. And what happens is whenever you eat a lot of protein, you're actually not eating as much junk. So I started feeling a lot better, losing a little bit of weight, and I wasn't as hungry. Like I wasn't like bloated like crazy. And then a couple hours later, I was starving. I was just eating like crazy. But that's all started to slow down. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then I found creatine, which is a performance enhancer for your muscles, a natural performance enhancers. It's crazy. It just retains water in your muscles. So whenever your muscles are about to fail, whenever you're lifting, right, your muscles are able to tap into that dormant energy that's there, and you're able to get a couple more reps and pump out your muscles even more. But whenever you take that, you got to make sure you're drinking water. So I added creatine and I added water, right? I had to make sure I was drinking a certain amount of water per my body weight. And some time was going by that, and I felt awesome, man. I felt awesome. Oh, man, and there was such a big difference because I started to lose weight and feel better and have more energy, but I was still sore. So I decided to increase my protein. 200 grams. Let's go with the recommended, baby. 200 grams a day. Right? So what I did was I started by trying to cram 200 grams of protein in my mouth. It wasn't really working. Here comes the demon. 200 grams, not really feasible. It's not really something you can do. Nope. Out of my face. I've proved you wrong too many times. Right? So what I did was I started doing research on like workout meals and all that stuff, and the things that you can eat with protein is absolutely insane. Right? So I ordered the bars and things like that, and I was ordering easy stuff like rotisserie chicken. If you eat a whole rotisserie chicken, that's 100 grams right there, dude. 100 grams. Immediately. One rotisserie chicken. Right? It's pretty crazy. Actually, it's 100 grams. It's at least 100 grams. 100 grams all the way to whatever. 150 grams. Right? And on top of that, if you drink like milk or something like that, that's got protein in it. Before you know it, you're at 200 grams. Right? But I realized, like, man, it's like I really gotta like eat a lot, man. It's like I'm eating a lot of stuff to hit 100 grams. But what I noticed is whenever I was eating all that, I was not sore at all. I stopped being sore. No more soreness at all. Zero. I wasn't sore at all. And I was like, whoa, dude, I'm pushing some like... And I started getting strong fast. Losing weight fast, gaining muscle fast. Started to show my chest and pop out my chest. Started to show like a little bit more bicep and seeing like more veins. And, my belly was going down like an inch. That's insane. So I was like, man, this is awesome. But, man, it's time consuming and like... very, what's the word? Not worrying, but like pestering. I would say it's like pestering. It's like, oh, I need to eat this. Oh man, I gotta find something to eat. And then I was like, hey, maybe this isn't it, man. It's like maybe you shouldn't do 200 grams. Get out of my face. Let's look up some meal prep plans, right? So I start meal prepping for one meal, and it's working, man. Literally, as soon as I get home, boom, I got a packed. The first thing I ever cooked was chicken and rice. That's a classic for anybody, right? Easy. I divided it up, boom, 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 boom. The rice had protein, the chicken had protein, and that's all you need. And then you just throw a vegetable in there if you want, right? That's 60 grams at like the minimum, right? It's 60 grams. Really, it's like it can be 60 grams to like 70 grams. But I just calculated it as 60 grams across the board. Divided it all up to canisters, right? And Tupperware. Boom, got home, microwaved it, ate it, waited about an hour for it to digest so I can get all the energy from the carbs. Boom, 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 boom. Oh man, it was crazy. As soon as I get home, eat, hour later, boom, 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 boom. It was like magic, like clockwork. It was crazy. Now I'm making my own burritos so that way I can grab them at any time. Now I have a meal prepped breakfast and all these things. Dude, all you gotta do is start with training wheels and that's it, man. I've started by just buying my own weights and then feeling good about having my own weights and working out at my house. And I was working out, doing all the workouts, screwing them together every time. Got tired of it. So I was like, screw it. One weight, that's it. But it got me past the hurdle of working out every day. I got used to spending my time making those movements. Right? It wasn't as a pain in the rear end. I got used to it. And I just looked for ways to make it easier. And now here I am, 200 grams a day. I'm biggest I've ever been in my life in terms of muscular strength. Meal prepping, a lot of my meals easily hitting 200 grams a day. Like sometimes I'll hit 200 grams before I even get home. And I have to I'm right there on the edge of 200 grams. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally can't eat anymore. And I'll get home and I'm starving, man. And I'll eat my meal prep meal. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It tastes amazing because I'm sitting there eating my meal prep meal and man, I'm so hungry. And then since I was so hungry, my body just rips it up in my stomach, man. Goes directly into my bloodstream. I'm pumped full of energy. Boom, 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 boom. Crazy workout. Hydrated. I feel amazing like every day. It's incredible. Oh, it's given me so much purpose, man. But that's the thing, is that like people don't have this purpose, and like on these rest days, like I'm not doing this purpose. And that's what I'm trying to create that here too. Like I want this to be purposeful. And that's why I do it the way I do. Like I'm not even doing thumbnails right now because I'm starting with training wheels. You know, this is similar to whenever I said I just bought the weight and I started just doing it. So this is me just doing it. You know, I'm not trying to make it as nice as possible right now. I'm not trying to get like more views or anything like that. I am just trying to start the habit. This is the beginning, right? I'm trying to get used to sitting on that seat before I try to just ride a bike with no training wheels, no balance training whatsoever, and then fall over and hit my head and start at the top. And I've never been there. So all I do is fall down. But if I start down here and I'm just turning the camera on for things that I'm already doing anyway, then one day I'm going to go up a step. And I might start doing like thumbnails. And then I go up another step. And I might get an even better camera. Which I don't think this is a bad camera, but it's definitely not the best camera. I know there's some like fuzzy going on, but I mean some of them I was looking at was really, really bad. And then I might move up another step where I'm starting to edit my content a lot more to make it more easy on the eye. So the times where I'm just sitting here pondering in front of the camera, because I'm sure there's going to be sometimes, like especially in video games, like from here to there is like 5 minutes, right? So I'm just doing that on camera. Just the character's just running on camera for 5 minutes, right? Running simulator for 5 minutes, right? I'll learn how to just edit that out and then ease right back into the game again. And then maybe I'll get up here one day and I'll get a few subscribers and they'll start giving me feedback and show me what they like, and you know, and I can start curating my content to now, instead of sitting there talking to myself, I'm also talking to other people and I'm helping them. All while being unique to myself. Not sitting here being fake on camera, but just sitting here talking. There ain't no music playing, nothing, right? No game right here, right? This is my screen right now, right? This has been staring at me the entire time. It randomly cycles with different like photography, but that's why I look over here every now and then. And this guy's just looking at me. And, I mean, that's like that demon, man. He's just like, dude, are you really talking to yourself on camera? Yes! Yes, I am! I'm talking to myself on camera. You know? I'm sitting here talking. Right? I thought this video was going to be 20 minutes. I've been talking for an hour. You know, that's just how this goes. You know? When you're being genuine to yourself, these things come out. these things just start to flow out, right? And this is the reason right now. This 20-minute video is the exact reason why I'm doing this, right? Because a lot of me is coming out right now. The way I think and feel the world in this current moment, and I can reflect on that. This is exactly why. Because I can show myself and the world who I am. This is why I'm doing this. And it is to bring more purpose, right? I'm sitting here reflecting in real time. It's like having your brain in front of a mirror, and instead of seeing your brain, you're seeing everything you're thinking and feeling. Right? You're able to reflect on your life. Right? You're able to set you in front of a mirror and actually talk to yourself. And you're like replying to yourself. It's like getting to know yourself. Because there's no one else here. I'm just talking. So everything coming up is just something that just gets surfaced in me. And it's coming through a camera. These are the reasons why I started this. And the feeling of like satisfaction and purpose right now is immense, because this is what I wanted. You know, this is why I'm doing this. And in 10 years from now, and well, man, maybe a month from now or 2 months from now, and I'm still doing this and I'm pouring out, and I can convey my feelings a lot better than I am right now. Maybe less pauses, or maybe I can talk a lot better with my braces, you know, so that way I'm not sitting here, you know, not so much. And I lick my lips a lot more often. You're able to actually sound better. My vocal cords get worked out more because I'm sitting here talking, you know. I'll start to get better. And then I'll feel that much better about what I'm doing. You just got to start with training wheels, man. You got to start with a bike with training wheels. And the first step isn't to ride that bike with the training wheels. It's to learn how to sit on the bike. Because if you never sit on that little seat before, then you got to learn how to balance on that seat so you don't fall off of it. You got to start slow. That's how these things happen. And once you have a habit rolling, it becomes your new routine. Except it's not forgettable. You know, it's a good routine. Because you're not brain dead to it. You can actively fight your demons while you're doing these things. Because I didn't want to do this. You know, it's like, oh man, don't want to talk to a camera or whatever. It's embarrassing, or what are these people going to think about you? Or, man, it would be easy just to delete the channel and then just not do it. But that's exactly why I need to do it. Because I need to overcome the things that I don't want to do. Because through suffering, you get a sound mind. The days that I don't want to work out, and I do it anyway, like I said, I feel amazing after. And after I do this, it's like working out your will, right? If you do it purely off of your own will, and it's like you're doing it, man, and you're showing yourself that you're going to stay consistent, even though you do not feel like doing it, man, you are starting to trust yourself. That's what's happening. You're fighting for your own trust every day. And that's what people don't do. Like, they constantly lie to themselves. They say, hey, I'll do this. I'll start tomorrow. Right? But they do it 1,000 times in their head. Hey, I'll go talk to this girl. Right? And then you have a moment. Perfect moment. She's there with you. You're there with her. And this has happened to me like 15, 20 times by now. Right? You have that one moment, and you know it's that moment. This happens with everything, not just with girls, man. This is just my experience. I experienced this a couple times, just in the last month or two, whenever I started trying to approach more women. Right? There's that perfect moment. You feel it, and you're like, and you go, it's like you're trying to get a breath, but you're not actually breathing, and nothing's just coming to mind. It's like you can't do it, and then the moment passes. You're like, hey, how can I help you? Because she moves on, doing whatever she's doing, because she's in a routine, man. There's nothing there to break the routine. You are there to break the routine. Hey, I just want to say you're beautiful, and if you're not seeing anybody, I'd like to take you out for dinner. Or, hey, do you want to catch a movie sometime? Maybe I can get your number and we go out to the movies. And boom, breaks the routine, right? Most of them are going to say no because it breaks the routine, and they're like, oh, this is a random guy. It could be a creeper or whatever, Could be a creep. Just random dude, not in routine. Check, bye. So they're like, no, I'm sorry, no. Or a lot of them be in a relationship. Probably half of them be in a relationship already, especially if they're pretty. So they'll be like, no, I'm in a relationship. But most of them are probably saying no. The little demons talking to them. They're like, no, you don't know this guy. He's like, just give him your phone number. And at first they're like, yeah, let's do it. And then that demon starts pestering them, right? It's just sitting there pestering them. And they exchange a couple texts with you. And you're like, oh, great, I'll see you this weekend. Sounds good. And then you text them to follow up like 2 days before that you're supposed to hang out. And then you get no answer because they've had like 2 days to sit there and listen to this little guy talk, saying he's just a random guy, you know how all these other guys ended up, or they've had 2 days to return back to their rhythm, right? Your interruption is gone, right? So your moment that you interrupted their routine and they ignored that demon to like say no or ignore you, and they actually gave you their phone number and they're engaging with you over like the next day, right? But it's a Monday, right? You asked them out on a Monday, and then you follow up on Wednesday, and then you come up on Thursday, and they've already had a whole day to sit there and listen to this guy talk, tell them every reason why they shouldn't go, and they just don't go, right? They don't reply to you because there's no consequence to it. They're like, they get that feeling they're about to reply to you, or they're reading over your text message again, and they're like, but this thing's just sitting there talking. It's like, no, don't reply to him. Don't go out. Just stay inside and watch a movie or whatever. And that's what people end up doing. Dude, there's so many things this applies to, man. But I've had that moment where I go talk to him, and like, I feel it's the moment. Here it is. Where is it? What am I doing? Oh, dang it, it's gone. And I walk out, and he's just sitting there reassuring me. It's like, she was busy anyway, the restaurant was full, or there was people in line, or she was too pretty or something like that, or she was probably preppy anyway, or whatever the case may be. But in the end, I know what breaking the routine feels like. And I know what that demon feels like. Because I've beat it before. And that's what it is. It's that demon telling me nothing would happen anyway. But how would I know that? If I never picked up those weights, then I wouldn't have never got here. If I wouldn't have started doing this YouTube thing, then I wouldn't be having these conversations right now. And if I don't ask out that girl, then I'm not going to ask out any girl. I think I need to start just being ruthless. Honestly. Hey, real quick, don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to know if you want to go out sometime. I think you're beautiful. She's like, you're interrupting her routine. So she's like, I'm in a relationship. Or whatever she says. It doesn't matter. You interrupted a routine. Boom. That's what matters. It's almost like you're clapping in her face. Hey! Look at me. Yep. It's almost like that. Hey, real quick, I don't want to bother you. I was wondering if you'd like to go out sometime. I think you're beautiful. Or it's like, you can see him sometimes. Thank you. But I mean, the whole time this guy's talking in his head. Hopefully they're in a relationship or something. Because I wish happiness on everyone. But, the whole time this guy's talking in their head. Whether they're single or not, it's talking in his head. That demon's still there when you're in a relationship. That's why people cheat. So either way, it's talking in your head. Do I like this guy or whatever, blah, 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 blah. You just got to ignore it. That's what loyal people do, But everybody's fighting demons. It don't matter who it is. Everyone you meet or see or interact with or ever existed has been fighting demons their entire life. And the reason why people watch motivational content is because they want to conquer their demons like those people are. But they have no idea how. They have no idea how. But I was lucky enough to find a couple people that talked about it enough for me to understand that I just have to start, right? And I didn't have any confidence in it because I'm not them. I didn't go through what they went through, right? But I'm going through it now. So maybe I just need to apply some of the things they're saying. And if you're going through something right now, and for some reason you're watching this video and you're just stuck in the same routine and you just feel unsatisfied or like you have no purpose, but you constantly try to make yourself feel like you have purpose or what you're doing is important, or you just want to do something more, something meaningful, not for something else, not for someone else, but for you to feel like your life is not passing by. I'm telling you right now what you need to do, and I'll tell you to do this right now. Go get a piece of paper, right? So pause the video, go get a piece of paper. You should have that piece of paper. If you don't have the piece of paper, that means you're not taking it serious, right? But you don't know me. I'm not some big guy, right? I'm me right now, sitting here in my trailer with a blurry camera, right? So whatever. Miss this opportunity. That's whatever. Now, if you have that paper right in front of you, what I want you to do is I want you to write down not 10 things, 5 things that you would like to do, right? Whether that's working out or running or walking or starting a YouTube channel or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Write down 5 things. 5 things. And you need to look at that piece of paper and start thinking about those 5 things and decide which one do you think would bring you more purpose. Like, if I did this and it was working out and I got my end result, how would that change my life? And then you're going to look at the work it takes to get there. If it's YouTube, man, I recommend starting something else. Right? Because YouTube, this is why I said look into what it takes to start it. Right? You need to do some stat research. Right? And it usually takes like 3 to 5 years for anyone to start making money. And we're talking like $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month off of ad revenue. And that's if they start building channels. So it's a lot of risk. So this is why you're looking into it. Right? You say, start YouTube, that would bring me a lot of joy if I was big as Markiplier, you know? But then you start looking at what it takes to get there. And if you don't have anything else to build up to that point, then that's like you starting at the top, right? You got to see which one of those, because if you're at that point I'm talking about, you don't trust yourself. You really don't. You don't have any strong habits that are really giving you purpose. Like a lot of purpose to make you feel good and have confidence and truly love yourself and like love the person you're becoming, like love them. Like I love the way I'm going. You just need to assess each one and pick one that is obtainable. No matter where you're at, there is an obtainable goal. And this is step one because you really need to think about which one of those are obtainable versus non-obtainable in your current state. Because some of them are just so high risk and they're not guaranteed. You're not going to get guaranteed results, right? But if it's something like start working out, dude, you could go outside and grab a heavy rock. You don't even need weights. All you need to do is drive down the road until you see a big rock. And you could lift that rock. There's people on YouTube that just lift out with rocks. Rocks! And they're ripped. Absolutely ripped. That's what I mean. Like, no matter where you start, that is obtainable. Number two, if you're watching this and you have legs and you want to start running and you want to be able to run a mile, guess what? All you got to do is go and walk, and boom. That's why fitness is one of the number one things that start a lot of people on their journey, because it is so obtainable. It's always right there. You can always just reach out and grab it. All you got to do is do the things every day that you need to do, right? But if you want to start knitting, right? Step one is to look into it and see what it takes to, be a good knitter. See if you like it. You gotta go through your list and look at that. You can't start at 100, man. Like YouTube, it's very, very hard to make it on YouTube. If you Google how many people make it on YouTube and do it full time, it's not that many people, man. I think it's like 3 to 6% of people make it on YouTube, and that's pretty crazy. That's very, very low. Very, very low amount of people doing it full time. All right, so that's what I mean. You gotta risk assess. Like you gotta see, it's like, okay, this is hard to obtain. For it to be the habit that gives me purpose whenever I have no purpose, you could spend 2 years and not get anywhere. It's gonna take too much time. What you need right now is purpose right now. Time now. You need purpose as soon as you can get it. Right? That's what you need right now. After you determine which one that is obtainable, to show yourself that you can stick with something and do something hard, you are then going to pursue that on a low level. Very low level. If it's working out, do what I did, man. You can either buy your own equipment, get a gym membership, whatever it is, right? But you got to show up. My problem was I didn't want to go to the gym. So I found a way around that. I bought my own gym. I do all my workouts with dumbbells, every single bit of it. So I bought those dumbbells and a bench, and I'm able to do everything. Work out my entire body. Right? And then, like I said, I just moved up from there. You know, you just move up baby steps, man. You just get up until you're at the top here, and then you're performing. Hey, let's go back to the knitting thing. Dude, if you want to start knitting, see what is the base things you need, right? Don't go and try to knit a blanket. Like, what are you doing? You ain't even knitted something small. Knit like a rag, like a little rag, like this big, a little rag, right? Okay. Knit you a couple rags, whatever, you know? Knit you a couple rags. All you need is a little sticks, and that's it. And then make a bigger rag. Boom, 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 boom. Show yourself that you can stick with it, that you can just keep doing it. You know, and then do a little bit more of a shape, you know. Instead of a straight rag, make it have like a wavy pattern to it, you know. Just do those little things. Let me try this. Let me try that. But if you go straight to try and make a crochet teddy bear, you're going to give up. What's probably going to happen is that you're going to start at the top. You're going to sit here and try to do the ear, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? And you're going to get like a portion of the ear, and you're going to realize how much work it's going to take to make that whole bear, because you started at the top, and you're going to say, dude, this is going to take me months. And you ain't even done something small to work up to that, right? So you don't have any confidence building up. You're not hungry for it. You made your rag. You're like, oh man, let me see if I can do something with this rag. That didn't take too long. Boom, 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 boom. Do this. And you make another rag. You get good at making rags. And then you make the little wavy rag. And then you make a table kilt. You make a table cover. You know, you're like, whoa, okay, yeah, let me do more stuff. Then you want to prove to yourself that you can do more and more and more and more. Just like we're working out, you want to do more and more and more and more weight because you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You want to see how strong you can get, right? You want to see how much you can do whenever you're crocheting something small. This is everything, man. Same thing for writing a book. You know, you don't start writing a book. You start with something small. Very small. Write a little paragraph. You know? Post sentences or something on freaking Facebook. You know, write postcards. Or something like that. And show yourself that, man, I like doing this. I feel good about it. It makes me feel good when I do it. You know? And then just level up from there. Start writing like 3-page stories, right? Oh, this guy went here and then he did this and he found out this. So he went to sell it and the mafia showed up or something. You know, write little stories, very, very little stories. And then you build up to a Harry Potter book, you know? Start small. I think that's how you keep doing the things that matter. That you work yourself up to the highest levels because you were there at the lowest levels. Well, it's about an hour and 24 minutes now. Well, if you want to start a new habit, just start small. You know, I know I ranted there a little bit. That's fine. I'm going to keep it in the video. You know, the little demon sitting here, edit that whole part out. No, I'm not. Because there's a reason why I just sat here in front of a camera for 20 minutes saying all that stuff. You know? It's because it popped up in my head. I'm here alone. Those things are in my head for a reason. It's because I'm saying it so that way I can hear it. in real time right now. And I might think it differently whenever I hear it again down the road. Whenever I become even more different of a person. But the thing is that everyone else watching this is already a different person, right? So they're already a different person hearing what I said that I'm saying right now. So I need to leave it in. You never know what someone might think about it. And they can easily just watch something else. Well, if you did watch this whole video of me talking, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you were able to think about something I said, right? Because this is really just me saying what's on my mind, you know. It got a little deep, but, you know, that's what I'm doing, is I'm just putting my heart and soul on a camera, you know, so that way I can reflect on my own heart. You know, and if other people reflect on it too, that'd be cool. But if you find it entertaining and you like listening, let me know, right? Give it a like or comment. First of all, tell me what you like or ask me a question or something like that. The channel's small enough, I'll reply, right? I only got 3 subscribers. I have no idea who they are. I'm pretty sure they're people who know me, right? I think they've seen me fail like 4 times on YouTube already. Not fail, but give up. Because I essentially did give up. This guy won, right? It was like, no, it's stupid. Upload video is stupid. You know, so I didn't do it. I just stopped. And I've changed the name to YouTube like 6 times. But they've been there the whole time, even though they probably never watched anything. But, you know, I have 3 subscribers. You know? So if you're one of those dormant people, brother, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'll die for you, brother. Yeah. Nah, bro. But if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more. Definitely going to see more content like this. Because, I mean, dude, I'm not even going to edit this, bro. I'm just going to slap it. What you see, start to bottom, top to bottom, side to side, that's what it is, man. Like, I think that's what my content is going to be for a while until I actually start, like I said, going up the ladder, you know, starting small. But this is the way it is right now. So if you like it, subscribe. I mean, you'll see some more, and it'll support me more. But if you really did like it, give me some feedback. Give me that thumbs up, you know. But if I'm speaking to you in some way by just sharing myself, leave me a comment, man. You know, that'd be cool. I love conversation, but I might talk about your comment in a video. Just be aware, unless you tell me not to. But I don't even expect anybody to watch this, man. This is an hour and 28 minutes of me just talking, you know. So if you liked it, thank you very much, man. Let me know.